Hello, welcome back to another episode of Musings podcast. I'm your host Gungu Mildred, and I'm so happy that you've joined me today again to listen to more of my musings. So today's episode, I want to discuss about how big of a house do you want to live in? Like how big is too big? Like, do you remember, if you've been on socials, when Calligraph Jones finally showed us his mansion and people went online and they were like, oh my god, that house is too big. Oh my god, it looks like a stadium. Oh my god, nya 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 nya. Oh my god, like it can never be me. Oh my god, why? It looks like as you what? And I'm like, you do realize that everybody has a different view or idea of where they want to stay at. Personally, Calligraph's home, amazing. I love the space. The fact that kama kumenyesha, the kids can have space to ride bicycles inside the house, amazing. Ama zile toy cars, those ones that they can actually physically sit in them and drive around the house, love it. And I love it for him. I feel like, okay, the only thing I would have said about it, not that I'm supposed to say anything about it, because at the end of the day, it's not my house, it's his. And he can furnish it however he wants. For me, it was just like all that space. You can fill some spaces with a particular thing, one or two things, and just make it more homey. Like I had somebody say, because I remember, I don't know who it was, but somebody, I think, either wrote it on Instagram or said it on a radio show or a podcast. Like, that house doesn't feel like a home. And I was, why? What makes a home a home? Because for me, it's the people inside the home that makes a home, not like the space or the magnitude of it. Because listen, everybody has a different perspective, everybody has a different view, everybody has a different desire of where they want to live. After that story with Calligraph's home, a friend of mine, which is actually what inspired this episode, he texted me on WhatsApp, like something he had gotten from, he shared something with me from Twitter. So somebody had written something like, I think it was one of those from the Calligraph, maybe, like I think it was from Calligraph's story on X. So somebody had commented, I think, that if you cannot wash your entire house by yourself, then that house is too big. For me, when I read that, I was like, yeah, no. Because what that means is, we mwenye unaweza osha 4-bedroom house, ama 5-bedroom house, bila kuchoka or bila nini. Because you still get tired. So is that too big if you have family and you have kids who all of them want to have their own room? So my friend was like, no, him, if you would ever go big, it would be like a 4-bedroom. And so like, I was like, okay, fine, I get that. But he was like, no, but usually like a 2-bedroom is fine. I'm a 3-bedroom at most. So like him and his wife can have their own bedroom, and then the boys can have a bedroom and the girls can have a bedroom. But even a 2-bedroom is okay. Like the children can share one bedroom and the adults can be in another bedroom. And I'm like, yeah, I get that. But no. For bedroom, for me, would be the minimum. So I don't mind if I have girls and boys, like children. So my husband and I can have one bedroom, and then the girls can have a bedroom and the boys can share theirs, and then you can have a guest room. Okay? That's okay. For a 4-bedroom, that's fine. I get it. But where I'm coming from, and this is where I wanted to understand, like where I was coming from when I was telling my friend, like for me, the bigger the better. Calligraph's home, my kind of home. I will even go bigger than that. Like, have you seen those houses that are just 16 bedrooms? Hey, I wouldn't mind. There's this guy on YouTube. His name is Inez Yalmeza. I hope I'm saying that correctly. He showcases houses all over the world. I love that show. There's a time, I remember, I don't know, whenever I'm stressed or whatever, or depressed, I can just go and binge watch those houses that he's showing. And they're from South Africa, they're from from Mexico, they're from France, they're from LA or whatever in the US. Those houses are big and they're beautiful. They have, and it's not just the house itself, it's the environment surrounding the house, like the entirety of the home, because some of them have basketball courts, some of them have like mini golf courses. Is that what it's called? I think some of them have like basketball courts and all of these things. And I'm like, yeah. Because one thing you have to understand with me, I do not like people. I'm not a people person. I know I'm supposed to be taking walks around my home to try and lose weight or whatever. But the moment I think of I'm going to go downstairs, there are people around that place, I'm going to be walking past them, I just feel like, no, I can't do that. Because I really don't like being around people. But if I had my own mansion, I would I will make a walking track around the property. I will make sure I have a court for whatever game or whatever sport that I'm interested in. A swimming pool is a must, and a big one where I can exercise, because with me, told to choose between going to the gym and actually swimming for exercise, I'd choose swimming. I choose swimming 100%. I'll choose swimming. And yeah, so I would want that. I would want a home with a walking track around the property. Like, I don't know if you've seen cruise ships. On cruise ships, there's the one that they called aisle 19 or something like that. There's always that walking track that goes around the whole ship. I'll do something like that around my compound. From the gate izunguke around the property, so that I can just be taking long walks. And I know still in my home. Nobody is seeing me. Nobody is looking at me. Nobody is discussing me. Nobody, and it's not like an insecurity type of thing. No, it's just that I don't like to be around people. And especially if I'm doing something like that, like exercise, I don't want them to be, oh, alianza tu kutembea hapa juzi juzi. Oh, na sasa amereduce weight. Anakaa vizuri. I don't want people discussing me. So I'd rather just do that. I'd rather have a walking track around my property and nobody else is there. I'd rather have a pool. After doing my walking, I go take a shower, come into my pool, dive in, take my swim, exercise properly, and I'm done. If I want to use a gym, I'd rather have a gym in my property instead of going to a communal gym, because God, akinani. Maybe bathing in a communal bathroom. I went to boarding school. People who are content with small houses, not because okay, I get it. A lot of us cannot afford big houses. So I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you have the money, but you'd rather just live in a small 4 bedroom or a small 3 bedroom. I don't get you. I really don't. Because I will go all out. I would. Because why am I limiting myself? And then these people, they go and pay for a gym membership in a gym. Well, you can have a gym in your home and you can hire a trainer to come into your house and train you. If you've seen those houses with a gym and a sauna and a massage room and all of that, like an entire spa setting, that is me. I would definitely want that in my home. If I had the space, if I had the money to create that, I would do it. Like when I want, I just go into the sauna. When I want to have a massage, I call a masseuse from a particular company. They come, they do the massage there in my home. All these things like cold plunges and nini, create those tabs there. You do them there. In my own home, in the privacy of my own home. I want to walk on the track, I do that. Like, let me just do my own thing in my own house where I'm not interrupted by anybody or I don't have to see people. Like, I've had stories of how in the gym, you can go and be very disappointed. Or like unajiangalia, umeenda hiyo gym sijui mara ngapi, you're not losing anything. Hakuna six pack inakuja, but you're seeing somebody else mwenye yake bodies are different, but mtu understand you in that moment. You're like, I've been here for a whole sijui how many months and nothing. I'm not seeing any difference. But this person came here the other day and look at them. And you start comparing yourself with other people, which is wrong, by the way. But then you start comparing yourself with other people and you're like, oh, I think I should be doing this by now. Why isn't my body like that by now? Why would I want to distress myself like that? I'd rather have a gym in my home where I can just go, do my thing by myself with a trainer, of course, but by myself or my family members or friends when they are around, and do that. Because mimi yake hapana. So, where I was raised, and this is again why I want a huge ass home. Apart from the walking track, apart from the swimming pool, apart from the courts and blah, 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 I grew up in a single room. And it was fine. When I was a baby, it was just my grandmother and I. We were okay. As I grew older, my uncle joined us. But then he used to have a separate place to go and sleep. He wasn't sleeping in that same room with us. But eating, blah, 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 there. Watching TV, kila kitu, there. And then his cousin joined us. And then we were 4. Again, they weren't sleeping there. They're sleeping separately, but 4 people. And then couple of years later, my uncle and my aunt, they also joined. But then one uncle left, their cousin left, had already left rather. So we were 5 people. Then my aunt gave birth, we became 6 people. And then sometimes my other aunties would come and that would be like 1 or 2 people. And then my uncle got married. Whenever they came to visit him and the wife, we were like 9 people. And then at most, I think, when they had children, blah, 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 we would be like 10, 11, 12 people in that house. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes. Now sleeping, the males, they weren't sleeping with us. They were sleeping separately. My grandmother always had her bed. And then my little cousin sometimes shared with my grandma if we were so many in the house. And then tungeka mattress chini. And on that mattress was my aunts, let's say like 2 or 3 of them. And then mimi wanne. And maybe there's a child hapo katikati. So watu watano, tumepangana kwa floor kwa mattress. Where? And I'm not complaining about this, by the way. Please don't take it badly. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that is how I grew up. And it wasn't bad. It wasn't like, oh, mbona tuko hivi. I enjoyed it actually. And something my friend said is that he used to love it when you go like in the village and they would all be sleeping on a mattress on the floor, blah, blah, blah. And I've heard other people say that as well. I used to enjoy it too. Because cousins, nini, mmepangana hapo kama tropical. Nini si tropical, it was the orbit. Loved it. But then you grow up and you're like, whoa, those are so many people to be in the same room, in the same tiny space, like that at the same time. The toilet we used to use, we were sharing. So it was like 4 houses, and then we were sharing the same toilet and the same bathroom. And these 4 houses, they have families in them. So tunashare, it's a communal toilet hapo hivyo nje. I hate sharing toilets. I hate it with a passion so much that aki musema Mungu anipe pesa, by the way. Aki Mungu anipe pesa. Because I'm one of those people who I will put like 2 separate toilets in my bedroom. So that if I have a husband, he can have his own and I can have my own. Na si ati nini ama nini. I don't know. Me, the way I am, people are usually the way they are because of their surroundings when they were growing up. And this is partly why I am the way I am. Because me, I hate sharing the toilet. I really do. I live in a bedsitter right now and it's the best experience. I just love having my toilet for me. Peke yangu. Like nitumie peke yangu, because while I was growing up, we were sharing a toilet 4 houses. And my grandmother is the one who always had to wash it. Because the other people weren't. They would use it, yes, but they never washed it. I saw my grandmother washing this toilet day in, day out, day in, day out. And I used it. Alafu, the more the years went by, the more I hated it, because there was somebody who was drinking, and that place sometimes will smell like I don't know what. And it's not like sijui. Okay, I don't want to say that because it will sound badly. But see at a place, low class ama sijui nini, I don't know how to put it well without sounding like a spoiled brat or like an ignorant person, but it was in a good neighborhood. It was staff quarters of where my grandmother used to work. So before when I was a kid, zilikuwa zinaoshwa na staff. But then as people started having family and more people were living there, ikabaki ni kila mtu ajishughulikie. But I saw my grandmother washing this toilet day in and day out, people using it, misusing it, and not washing. And let's not even talk about the bathroom, because that was another story. There was this man who would enter the bathroom bila kuvaa viatu. And it's a communal bathroom. Nyanyangu asipoosha inakuwa nini, it didn't have tiles on the floor. Inakuwa ile smooth, inakuwa slimy. Oh my God. And let's not talk about the suds on the wall. Jumtu anoga ataki. Me, I'm traumatized. Honestly, I'm traumatized. So when I say I don't want to share a toilet, I don't want to share a bathroom, that is where it's coming from. When I say I want my own space, my own huge house, it's because of these moments that I grew up seeing, I grew up going through. And as they weren't bad, because they were good memories. I had a lot of good memories growing up. But there are these tiny things that were happening that while they were happening, I didn't think much about them. When my grandmother's house was full of people, I loved it. It was my aunts, my cousins. I loved the experience. When we were sharing the toilet, I didn't think of it was just, this is home. And this is the toilet that we use, so it's fine. But kutoka nyumbani aki nilihamia bedsitter na nikasema moving from a bedsitter to a bigger place. And if I ever have a family, Mungu nisaidie tafadhali na kuomba that I have different washrooms. Going to visit people, stressful. Knowing that I have to use their bathroom and everybody else uses them. And this is not just like strangers, my family members. Na seti ni wachafu, clean people. Toilet very, very clean. Nanukia vizuri, hautapata sijui nini inakaaje. But mentally, oh my God, my trauma. Like, I start using toilet kama and I just get trauma. Instant trauma. Alafu workplaces, zile za kutumia building mzima, sijui floor mzima, mnatumia the same. Hey, manze, I don't know. So, vitu kama hizo ndo zinafanya me, I want to have my own huge mansion. So that kila mtu, everybody can have their own bedroom. That is very important for me. Tuanze tu sitting room. I want a big sitting room. Ile yenye kila mtu wageni wakikuja, they can sit there. It can have leather seats, which can be cleaned by the way after wametoka. Na si kubaya. Again, si madharau. I just have this thing in my mind, in my head. And maybe I have sijuizo see ADHD, maybe I have that, or I have ingine ya kutaka kuwa msafi all the time, but I don't know. A doctor has to tell me that. But there's this thing where mimi mwenyewe nguo nimeenda nayo downstairs, siwezi rudi nayo kwa nyumba na nikalie kiti ama kitanda yangu. That is a thing, that's a fact of my life. I can't. Whenever I have visitors, it stresses me out. But then nikajifunza, okay, you do this, you do this, you do this. I usually have something covering my chair when it's just me. And then wageni wakikuja kunitembelea, and sorry for those people who have come to visit me. Haiko kwa ubaya. I remove the cover, watu wanakalia kiti vile iko, and then once they leave, I return the cover. Ndo nikalie kiti yangu. Na si ati hawa watu ni wachafu, they are clean people, of course. They are my people, they're my friends, they're my family, and I love them, by the way. I really do love them. So si ati ni anything against them, but in my mind ni ametoka kwake. This is how my mind processes it. Alitoka kwake, ameoga, ameng'ara vizuri, ameenda amekalia matatu, ametembea kwa hii barabara, amepishana na watu, amepita, vumbi ndo hiyo nini. And all of these things are sticking to your clothes. And then you come and sit on my chair. Ukitoka inabaki hapo. When I'm in the house by myself, people who have lived by themselves, you know how you dress. Alafu mimi nakuja na dress hivyo vile nimedress kwa nyumba, and I sit on that chair as well. Do you get my drift now? So na feel ni kama hiyo uchafu yote imekuja imekaa hapo. Alafu washing your hands when you get into my house, you have to wash your hands because umeingia ujanawa mkono, umetoka kwa matatu, ulishika hizo chuma za matatu, ulishika pesa. Kuna watu siku hizi nasikia mpaka mtu anazijipanguzia watu hujui pesa imeshikwa na watu wangapi na walikuwa wameshika nini. And then you come into my house, you start touching the remote, touching the chairs, touching the table, alafu pia nikuje. Believe me, it will stress me the hell out. I don't know. My mind processes these things in a very weird way. I just see that and I'm too chafu, I'm too jumps, and I'm like, I'm a germaphobe, actually. I am a germaphobe. But pia more than that, I'm just like, no, you can't. Because if you do that, if you come into my house and you don't wash your hands, best believe, na isi siri, na kuambia na nasema na si maringo, si madharau, the moment you leave my house, whatever you touched, I'll have to clean them up. I'm the type of person nikienda chini na simu yangu nilipe anything na M-Pesa, when I get back to the house napanguza hiyo simu with a wet cloth. That is me. So you can imagine like everything that happened to me growing up. Totally Leona, right now in my own house, I'm just like, no. And this is a bed sitter. Sasa nikabarikiwa na hiyo mansion. So unaelewa, if I have a mansion, one, unaingivi kwa mlango, there has to be a bathroom by the door. You get in, you enter there, you wash your hands. Whether it can be that sijui nitangwa dry room ama ni nini, I don't know, wet, whatever. There's this place where you take your gumboots and nini and you wash uko. Kama kuna hiyo whatever. Kama ni hiyo ama ni toilet, you get in there, you wash your hands before you touch anything in the house. Sitting room, ikuwe na leather seats. Ini sitting room ya kila mtu. Where after you leave, wageni wakishatoka, they can be cleaned properly. Na si madharau again, na si maringo. Okay? Alafu ukuwe na dining area. That one I don't mind. Juu kama umefika dining area yangu, inamaanisha umekuwa kwa hiyo nyumba and the clothes that you have on, si zenye ulikuwa nazo nje. And upstairs, uko upstairs kukuwe na another sitting area. Na hiyo viti si leather, they are the normal one, nguo hizi or velvet or whatever. There ni ya watu wamekaa kwa hiyo nyumba peke yao. And again, kama umetoka kutembea nje huwezi kalia hizo viti. Only if you're spending the night na kwa umechange manguo zako. Bedroom, whatever you do in your bedroom, I don't care. But kila mtu akuwe na bedroom yake and all of them should be en suite. Hakuna kushare bathrooms. Like ile tu ya wageni, downstairs maybe 2, half bathrooms, fine. They come, they use that and they go. But kwa bedroom, kila bedroom has to have its own toilet, its own bathroom. Kila mtu na usafi yake, kila mtu na maisha yake. Because that is me and the things that I grew up seeing and how they affected me. So much that I'm like, I'm not ready to be sharing a bathroom. I'm not ready to be sharing a toilet. Even with my spouse. Bathroom in those big houses, I've seen like 2 shower heads. Kila mtu ako na space yake, which is good. But anyway, I don't mind the bathroom itself. I don't mind sharing the bathroom with a spouse. But toilet akikuwa tu na yako baba na mimi nikuwa na yangu na si kwa ubaya. Si ati chuki ama nini. And it's not even jumps ati kuna jumps zinakuwa transferred ama anything. I don't know. Like, honestly, I wouldn't be able to explain to you and tell you that this is why I want this. But mostly because of what I saw growing up. Kila mtu adil tu na usafi yake. And if there's somebody who can be cleaning them, fine. But I want to be able to sit on a toilet and not think, oh, fulani alikalia. Oh, maybe. And it takes me, all the strength in me, not to take my mind there whenever I have visitors in my house. Which I don't mind. Again, I don't mind having visitors. I don't mind them using my toilet. But my mind just goes to a very dangerous place sometimes that I have to bring it back and be like, hey, yo, ebuko, yo endazimu najiekea, ebu toa. Remove it from there. Don't think like that. Don't overthink. I told you in a previous episode, I'm an overthinker. So you can get like where my mind goes sometimes. And when I go down that rabbit hole, it can stress me like a whole lot. So just to be on the safe side, me, I'd rather have a big house. I know a lot of people will say, no, me, I prefer just a small one, a cozy one. I remember somebody a couple of years ago say that she came and just started talking. I think the husband wanted a big home. Because he didn't grow up with a big home. And so whatever he was planning since when he was a child, he was like, when I grow up, I'll build myself and my family a big house. But her, she was raised in a big house. And what that meant to her is people don't eat together. Kila mtu saa dinner, kila mtu anakuja downstairs saa yake, watu hawaonani, like it's a huge house, so hakuna mtu ona mtu mwingine, unless kama mnaenda shule ndo mnatoka nyote pamoja, fine. Mkiingia tena mwingie pamoja, fine. But once people, kila mtu kwa bedroom yake, hata ukiitana hakuna mtu anasikia. Juu bedroom moja iko huko kwa mwisho kwa kona, the other one is on the other side. So she was complaining and saying that the husband wants a big house and she doesn't want, because she wants to have everybody around her. Mali akisema tu, nani fanya hivi, they can come and do. Nani kuja, they can come. Lakini a big house, you don't, like, you have to walk to that person's room in order to talk to them. And I was just looking at her and I'm like, yo, you're telling the wrong person, because pia mimi, I want that big house. And modern houses, you can put like intercoms. Ukitaka mtu, you can call them. You have phones, you can call people on their phones. I'ma text them. You can have a family WhatsApp group or something. Ambia mtu kujeni down for dinner. You can have like days mnaambiana every day by 7 p.m. kila mtu dining table for dinner. So that you can sit together, you can talk. You can organize game nights, you can organize movie nights where the whole family is there. And everybody comes together and does those things. I get it. When these babies become teenagers, they become something else. And then they get to that stage where hakuna kile maniambia, I don't want to be around you people. The movies you people are watching are lame and and all that madness. But at least that brings you together. And you, as the parents, you can say, no, in this house, Monday to Sunday, we are sitting together and eating dinner at the same time. Because breakfast, kila mtu anaamka different time, going to school, going to work, blah, blah, blah. That one is not feasible. But dinner, kila mtu by 7, watu wako hapa downstairs. Then Friday night can be game night. Saturday night can be movie nights. Sunday, you have a family day. Kama mko kuna pool, you stay at the pool, all of you guys, you do barbecue, blah, 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 there's always a way to bring your family together. A friend of mine, the friend that I was arguing with about this discussion, he said that when you have such a big house, you have your children there, you raise them in a big mansion, and then they get married, and then some of them after high school, they go outside the country, they go and study in other countries, and they never come back. So unabaki tu na your mansion and by yourself. Kama if your spouse is dead, umebaki tu hapo peke yako. And he was like, so what do you do with all that space? I was like, I can even have pets. Me, I don't care. I can have pets. They can have every room. Then he told me that sometimes these kids, even once they go abroad and they marry there, when they come to visit, they stay in hotels and they don't even come back to that house. I was like, what do you mean? I raised you in this house. You have a big room. You know this house has space. But when you come back to visit me from abroad, you are staying in a hotel. Why? Why do you have money to waste like that while you have all this space? And what did I do to you as a parent that when you come back to visit me in Kenya from abroad, you don't want to live with me in my home? You'd rather stay in an Airbnb or a hotel. Nilikosa nini? What kind of a bad parent was I that my own child feels like they should stay in a hotel or an Airbnb rather than staying at home where they grew up? I must have been toxic. I must have not been a very good mom if my children can come and visit me after not seeing me for like 3, 4, 5 years and prefer to go and live in a hotel. And I have this space in the house. Watu wanikanga kwa hoteli ni wale wanajua madhe fadhe walihama, they went into a single room ama one bedroom, like a smaller place. So we don't have space to go and stay there. So when we come, we'd rather organize ourselves to go in an Airbnb. Then during the day, we spend the day with mom and dad. Then jioni ikifika, we come back and sleep at the hotel or the Airbnb. But I have a 16, a 10, do you know how many bedroom house? And then you prefer going to stay in a hotel. I must have been a terrible mom then, which I hope I won't be. Mungu asaidie. But yeah, you get my point. Like, I was like, no, you can't do that. But I don't mind when they are away, knowing that these rooms are kept the way they wanted them. They can come and visit whenever, and you can always adopt other kids and raise them there until when you're old enough, ile unasema, okay, now, fine, I can get rid of the big house because I've lived, I've enjoyed it, and now I can go to an apartment even. A place where you can lived convenience, hakuna stress, hakuna nini. Unaweza order anything from anywhere. So I don't mind it. But while I'm still young, me, by the way, give me that big mansion. 16 bedrooms I know is a lot. But in my mind, I'm like, if it's a 16 bedroom, let it be by the beach, whereby when mashule zimefungwa, all the little people, wakina cousins, akina sisters, akina nani, you are whatever, they come. And every one of them stays at the place. Equal like a vacation home. But a regular home ile tu ya kila siku, I don't mind a 6, 7, 8 bedroom house with a basement that has a wine cellar and a, hey man, indoor pool. Nanini, I don't mind that. And for me, that is not exaggerating. That is not overspending. That for me, and I know maintaining such a place is very expensive. I get it. But if I have the money to buy such a place, I better be wealthy enough to be able to afford the expenses of keeping it up, because why? You better be able to afford to pay the people to come and clean it. Even if it's a cleaning crew that can come once a week, fine. Mangu, you have a laundry machine, you do that by yourselves. You don't have to hire people to come and do that. Although, kuna mtu wa kufua, kuna mfanyikazi kwa nyumba, they collect all of them, go wash them, iron them, bring back to the rooms, fine. I don't mind that either. But basically what I'm just saying is, for me, I prefer a huge house as compared to a smaller one. I don't mind a small house. Like right now, I'm in a bedsitter. Because I'm by myself, I'm okay. But I wouldn't like to live in a bedsitter with a husband and my child and a house girl. Because I've seen that happen. And I'm usually like, so how are you getting a second and third born while you're living in that small house and there's a housemaid as well? Huyu housemaid, you ulala kabisa usiku mkifanya 1, 2, 3. Like the children and stuff. I know people's pockets are different. I'm not even like trying to say anything negative. I'm just saying, if you can afford it, do it. Have a cozy place. It doesn't have to be like a huge mansion with 9, 10, 16 bedrooms. It can be a cozy house where everybody has their own bedroom. Every bedroom is en suite and everybody has their own space. You can have a gaming area for the family to come and enjoy family time and stuff like that. And just be at peace. Raise your children right. They will always want to come and visit. They'll always know we have a room at mom's and dad's place. But if you raise your children and they cannot just wait to get out of your house, you are the problem. The mansion is not the problem. Okay, so God, grant me this. Grant me a huge ass house that I can build a walking track around the property, that can have a huge ass swimming pool. I just want to enjoy life, man. And enjoying life for me means having my own personal space where nobody is distracting me, where nobody is looking at me while I'm walking, where nobody is making me feel not safe. Like that is for me. But if you like the smaller ones, that's okay. That's okay too, because they're not bad. As long as you're under a roof, and you're not out there being hurt by the elements, that's okay. To each their own. Actually, that's what I would say. To each their own. Kila mtu ana starehe zake. Zangu ni hizo za kupenda nyumba kubwa, lakini kuna wengine wanapenda small and they're contented with that. But if I had the money, best believe mimi mnaweza ingia kwa nyumba yangu mdhani ni museum, because I'd actually have an art gallery in the house. Like just a room where there's art on the wall. Na hapa katikati kuna kitu ingine. Maybe some sculptures hapa na pale, but I would have that. I'm the type of person who will have a music room where kuna two instruments. Ziko tu hapo, like if you want to listen to the cello, if you want to learn how to play the piano, the piano, the grand piano will be in the living room. But like if you want to do all these things, there's a room where you can go and do that. I'll have a recording studio because one, I'm doing a podcast. I would want to do it in a place where I'm not recording on my phone, but I'm recording on like the real equipment that I'm supposed to be using for a podcast. I would want to be able to record a song, never to be, commercialized, but just for me. I would, me and Asiju, I don't know. People are going to think that I'm crazy when they listen to this, but that is just me, okay? Kila mtu akona vitu anapenda, kila mtu akona vitu apendi. For me, I want a huge house. Maybe God will grant that to me because they say God cannot give you dreams that you cannot achieve. So for me, I hope that I will achieve such dreams. But for you, if it's not your thing, if it's not your cup of tea, that's okay. You can go down to the comments and tell me all about it. Tell me what type of home you prefer. Do you prefer a big house or do you prefer a smaller one? Just go to the comments and tell me about it. If you don't want to comment down on the comment section, you can go to my DM, Mrs. Podcast on Instagram, and tell me there what type of home do you like. And you can talk about it. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Remember to hit the bell for notifications so that I can always be here whenever I upload something new, and then we can interact. And just please help me with the traction, help me with the algorithm so that you can reach a lot of people and I can get more subscribers. The last time I checked, I had 22 subscribers. I hope that those are going to grow because I really need this YouTube channel to grow. So please help a sister out. Help support a sister, okay? Because this is like any other business. If you have cereals unauza, mimi nauza easy. So please, everybody does what they can. And I cannot do all those other things, but I can do this. I can sit with my phone and record something and talk about it and just give you like a piece of my mind or something. So please help support me, and I'll be very, very grateful to you and to whoever else will share it with. Okay? Bye-bye now.